Hey everybody, welcome. This is Eagle Dog. I'm doing a live stream of formatting the Supreme Court Rules of Professional Practice, which is a subsection of the Utah Rules of Judicial Administration, which contains the Utah Code of Judicial Conduct. And this here, what I'm looking at, this is the complete table of contents for these 5 chapters of the Rules of Professional Practice. Okay. Let's get into it and have some fun. Now this one here, go up to the top and show you what I'm working on. As you can see, I've trimmed it down and kind of summarized. There's not as much here even in the opening table of contents page. And then I get right into the rules. And I've only just trimmed out and just included here some of the rules. Look, there's a rule sheet. Right now I'm going through and I've created a keyboard shortcut. So anywhere that I see a rule, that's not a rule, that's an article. That's okay. Comment, scope, availability, terminology. I don't see any rules in there. Anywhere I see a rule, those are rules. They're properly formatted though. Anyways, oh no, that's okay. That's a canon rule, properly formatted. But if I see an improperly formatted rule, that's a chapter. That's okay. There's one. You see it? It's supposed to look like that one. I have a keyboard shortcut whenever I spot one of those. Boom. How does this help me to memorize enormous quantities of information? I mean, you can tell just by looking that I'm getting a sense of what this document is about just by searching for the rules. There's one. See it? Boom. Shift F10 is what I set up on that one. That's not a keyboard shortcut that you need to memorize because it's not one that's built in. That's one that I set up on my own. Can you just tell that by organizing this information that I am developing a level of familiarity with the document? That's going to help me just by going through and spotting these rules like that. There will be a few more in there that I haven't spotted yet, but I've got most of them. Control S to save as I go. Okay, good. I'm rocking and rolling here. So for removing pilcrows, you see I have these extra pilcrows here. I want to remove those, but I want to do those from top to bottom. Look how much faster that is going top to bottom versus if I go bottom to top. Let's see, I'll show you here. Okay. See, I have to go up, up each time versus just going down, delete, down, delete. So we'll want to do that from the beginning. Let's see if there's anything else we want to look for right now. I think pilcrows will be fun. So we scroll back to the top. Let's see. Where was that? This one should, what we do here, text flow, keep with next paragraph, okay. Oh. Alright, so in this case, I'm going to go into my styles. I'm just going to adjust this style right here. And modify the text flow to keep with next. It's supposed to be already doing that. It looks like I had it set up that way. I don't know why that's not working. Huh. Oh, there it is. Control M I just did to remove manual formatting. That is a built-in keyboard shortcut. If you're using LibreOffice, that's the one to use to remove direct formatting. And that helped me out in that situation. Okay, here we are at the top. The ones that are lettered like this, lowercase letters surrounded by parentheses, these are going to be our lowest level of text. They're going to be right up against the sidebar. They're not going to have any margin. Effective date, I'm taking out of here as part of my abridgment. Keyboard shortcut you can memorize on LibreOffice is Control-Shift-J to switch in and out of full screen mode. Alright, right here I've got some paragraphs that I want to indent. Do you see those? A and B go up against the sidebar, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I want to indent those. So I'm just going to use a keyboard shortcut I've set up here. Let's see, which one is it? This one, I think, yeah. And then those ones, C and D, go against the sidebar. That looks good. Removing pilcrows is much easier going from up above than from down below. This is a homemade keyboard shortcut. A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, oops. 7. Isn't that what I said? A, B, C, D, 7? I think that's what I said. Okay, those ones. Use my keyboard shortcut, done. That's strange. Why would it have a 2 and a 3 but not a 1? Oh, there's 1. Oh, see, it's an uppercase. See, the uppercase letters go in even farther. Okay, nice, that one's done. See how it's a 1 there? I'm going to just get even more and more efficient with this. Look at that. I don't know. It seems to not be efficient. Maybe just like this. That was more efficient. That was fun. Okay, so then this one goes in. That one goes in even further. I can use shift. That one goes there. It's so easy with these keyboard shortcuts because I can just switch them back and forth and be like, wait, where does this one go? Oh yeah, it goes there. Oops. See? And so this is kind of my style for how I like to go through and demonstrate a process, is that rather than telling you how to build this keyboard shortcut, I'm just showing you how to use it today in this particular session, or at least in this particular moment. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, good. Just where we want to be. Okay, that one goes like that. That one goes like that. Let's go there. See, the uppercase letters, they sometimes deceive you because they pretend to be lowercase letters. And they're not. They're not lowercase letters. They're uppercase letters. And they have a different level of indentation. So what's going to happen here now for the rest of the stream, I've described what is the manner in which I'm proceeding here. Oh, I made a mistake. Control E. There we go. Yeah. I'm just trying to demonstrate how I do this. And this is a large document. It has a large number of words, large number of paragraphs. And so you can just see how the indentation of the paragraphs and the paragraph formatting and going through and applying this paragraph formatting is so effective. Speaking of the word effective, I mean, how timely was that? Should I just go like this? Delete that one. Just leave all the numbers and fix those later. Oh. Pilcrow removal. Pilcrow removal. Effective, highly effective. Pilcrow removal. Do you know why we're removing the pilcrows? And you know, the pilcrows just represent an extra carriage return, which is the enter key, an extra line, right? like this. Here, I'll remove the formatting marks. See this extra line there? It's actually kind of a nice way to do it right now. By doing this, I get a lot more control over the document. And right now, I'm also getting familiarity with the document. It's a high level familiarity. It's a low level. Well, it's actually a high level of familiarity, but it's high level of high level familiarity. As far as the details go, it's extremely low level. I'm not really catching these details as I go, but I'm getting a really good sense of the composition of the document. The effective dates, I kind of take note of them. 2020, 2022. Those are the fun parts, like this. Let's see what else. Oh, look, it just keeps going in this part. Oh, that's a long one. Just because that one was so long, I'm just going to go through and format these paragraphs while I'm at it, because that one was really long. Some programs have this feature and some don't, but the ones that do, it's so helpful. Which is that I'm able to scroll horizontally. Have you done that before? Do you know how to do that? Can you tell me? Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the chat. Oh. Yeah, come on, chat. Tell me what's up. Well, I hope there are people in the chat. I doubt it, though. And if you are chatting in there, I can't see you. But I do appreciate it. There we go. Let's format this. Right there. These are uppercase letters. Sneaky uppercase letters. What if they had lower and uppercase numbers? That would be dope. Lowercase 4. What would that look like? An H. An H is a lowercase 4. Same difference. But you have to turn it inside out. Okay, I'm going to go for it again. Here we are. Oh, yeah, look at this. Watch. Watch this. Efficiency. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Efficiency. 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 Can you do that? What I just did? You know how I did that? I used holding down the control. See how I'm jumping through these paragraphs like that? It's because I'm holding down the control key. Not sure if I deleted. Yep, see that? Ooh, did you see that? What I accidentally deleted? I almost kept going. You have to be careful. You have to be careful when you're going speedy like that. Speedy Gonzalez. Look what Speedy Gonzalez did. Erased that number 2. Luckily, I saw myself. I was like, wait a second. let's just double check that. What was it like before the days of Control Z? There was also a time after Control Z first came out. There was a time when it was limited to only one undo, like, I guess what it would be, action. Yeah, one action. You could only undo one thing. And they didn't have redo. They might have had redo. They might have come out with redo right at the same time. I think they did have redo. They had undo and redo. I think they came out with them at the same time, but you could only undo up to one action. It didn't remember like 5 different things that you deleted. Like, see, if I deleted that much stuff, it would only remember like one of those. It wouldn't remember all of that. It couldn't keep going back. Like, watch this. This is kind of fun to do. Watch. I'm just holding down Control Z, reviewing all the changes that I just made. That's as far back as it wants to go. So in this case with LibreOffice, it has a limit of how many actions it can undo. It looks like it was about 100. What's this? Definitions? Terminology? De minimis. Looks like there's an extra carriage return here. Do you see that? It's missing something here with de minimis. There's a problem here. I'm gonna have to check this in the code. So now I'm gonna go and research, because there's a paragraph here that looks weird about de minimis. These are really interesting words to land on. But right now I don't want to really focus on reading this stuff. I don't care. I do care, but right now I'm filtering it out. The reason I'm filtering it out is because I do care. I love it. Let's see. I have to find out where I am. 2, Code of Judicial Conduct, Preamble, Scope, Applicability, Terminology. De minimis. Okay. So I can find that. I think we're in chapter 2. Terminology. De minimis. Look, directly solicit got deleted somehow. Economic interest. Where's this stuff about a king? What? How did this get in here? Oh, in kind, not a king. Direct request made by a judge or judicial candidate for financial support or in-kind service. Oh yeah, that's what I have right here. Contribution. Okay. Contribution and then de minimis. No, that's not a contribution. I'm missing something here. Appropriate authority, aggregate. Appropriate authority, aggregate, contribution. Appropriate authority, aggregate, contribution, de minimis. Directly solicit. Okay, it looks like we're missing directly solicit. So if I go down like that, I think. Oh no. There. Good. And then I doubled up on domestic partners. That's okay. Cool. I thought I had found some really cool terminology about like some king. I thought I saw the word king in there with de minimis. It's still an interesting term. I'm about to read up on it. I still don't know what de minimis means. Notice, I mean, this is a really interesting time to take note about my process now. Look how much time I'm taking to actually read right now de minimis. 0. Fiduciary. I'm able to keep working and keep learning at the same time. Long company. Oh, this is great to have all this terminology. But I'm just remembering, like, basically there's a flag in my brain now of that there's this word de minimis that I don't know. I actually have a shortcut. I'm going to go ahead and use it. F4. It's just one that I created. To make something, it changes the no, not the paragraph formatting, but the character formatting. So this will just save me a trip later, because I just noticed this, that all these terms are going to want to have, they're going to want to be in bold eventually anyway. And so I might as well make them bold now. And as long as I'm at it, you guys can go like that. That. Sometimes the definitions say includes, and sometimes they say means. It's interesting, I hear myself breathing out while I'm doing these kind of repetitive processes. And you can see this is probably a familiar process of going through and highlighting the correct amount of text and then changing the formatting of it a little bit. But I've just saved myself a little bit of extra time because I don't have to use Control B. Instead I'm using F4. And that means I can go back later and change the formatting of all of these. I'll show you right now. I can change the formatting of all of these bits of text really quickly. Watch this. You'll see. Now you'll see the magic, okay, of memorizing keyboard shortcuts and applying them, and then now using the styles. I've been using paragraph styles all this way, but in this case, these are actually they're a character style. So I have a keyboard shortcut which will change the style to bold, bold, bold. Control Z, undo. And all of these have been switched to bold, so now I can change them all at the same time. If I'm like, well, I want them to be a little bit different, and then I go back and rechange them again, and then rechange them again. No, watch this. Okay, go to bold, 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 bold. Right click, modify. Watch this. Apply. See, look how quickly I can change all those. And I could be like, well, no, I actually wanted them to be like that. Apply. See that how quickly and effectively I can just change the appearance of the document? That whole section right there, if I want those words to really stand out, I can do it. And then I can be like, well, no. Let's take them down to 6 point like the rest of the document, and let's just keep them Arial like the rest of the document for right now, but they're going to be bold. Great. Looks good, just like it was before. No problem. Oops. If I make a mistake, I say like, oops, that's okay, but I don't get upset. I stay happy. It's very important to do that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Uh-oh. What's happened? Okay, I think we're okay. Looks like we got disconnected momentarily, and we're back. So I'm learning as I go that these phrases are here. There's a good number of them in this particular section, and that they're interesting. There's one that's like de minimis, I think it was. Is that what it was? De minimis? De maximis? What about de maximis? Third degree relationship? Okay. But I'm not going through and spending too much time reading that stuff. I found a transcription error while I was at it. I noticed it because there was a pilcrow. There was like an extra space where there was the word means. It said just like, it was like the word was missing. It was like this. I found a paragraph that looked like that, and I was like, what? That's not right. And so then I went and dug around and just made sure that I had this stuff aligned correctly and replaced whatever was missing. I think it was something with directly solicit. Yeah, there it is. In kind. See? I bet I could even show you where it was. Look. Yep, see, it was right there in that position. And I thought it said king. And I thought it had something to do with de minimis. But those words we're talking about directly solicit, and de minimis means something else. In the context of interests. I don't want to get sidetracked right now reading that stuff. Oh, got a rule. Look, there's a rule title. Thought I might have more of those at some point. What's that one? Is what was it? Shift F10, Control F10. I'm gonna have to look it up. See, tools, customize. Yeah, there it is. Shift F10. All right, so. Shift F10. Looks like I got them. Okay. I got most of them that were right there anyways. Okay. Yeah, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments, guys. Do you know? Well, maybe so obviously the chat is not going to be hot right now. I don't have like any subscribers. I have like 6. No, I think I have 8 subscribers now. Maybe 6, 7, somewhere around there. But you know, this footage ought to be around for a while, theoretically. And I would love to see some comments, you know, because it could be a year from now that someone comes in here and leaves comments. So yes, I would love to see in the comments if you did already know some of these tricks. Like the fact that I'm holding down Control right now. And then pressing the arrow and delete, arrow and delete. But now I'm going to use Control Shift J, which takes me to this kind of distraction-free view, I would call this. Kind of a full screen view. It's kind of an equivalent for LibreOffice of F11. Oh, look, there's a rule. Got a rule. Shift F10. Yeah. Oops. It would be interesting to know what these sighs mean. I hear myself making these sigh. I'm exaggerating it now, but it's kind of that type of noise. Ooh, I had to change my position there. I got a little cramp. You know, that's a good reminder for me anyways. And it's a good reminder for you, the viewer, also. the timing is just right. It's like my body was telling me, hey, you need to stretch. And the trick of stretching and moving around a little bit, moving my legs, I'll move the microphone as well. You can move. Thank you, microphone, for being a good microphone. Hey, you're welcome, guys. I hope it didn't disconnect while I was moving it just now. Unfortunately, that puts it close to the computer fan. You know what? I'm going to move it to a different spot. Move it right here. It's too far. Alright, I'll try it like that. I like it like that. Dun-dun-dun. So my body just now told me that I needed to take a break. And that was a break. That was the break. So for repetitive stress injury, what I just did is the appropriate amount of time and energy and effort that is appropriate when your body lets you know that you need to take a little break. It's interesting because what I just did is really similar actually to anger management. My body was getting really tense. I don't know about really tense, but my body was getting tense in a spot. Well, it was getting tense actually in a lot of spots, but I got like a little tiny micro cramp in my neck. Yeah, it was in my neck. It was actually a little bit more than a micro cramp, and it wasn't really tiny. I experienced a medium-sized micro cramp in my neck, and my neck right now is in a state of recovery. Oh, look at these ones. A judge shall conduct. That's interesting. Oh, that's the canon. It's just in capital letters. I have read the canons before. I do know. I'm familiar with those. Judge may engage or comment. That's kind of how I'm reading this stuff right now. A judge shall not appear voluntarily. ABC comment 1, 2, 3. Rule 3.3, testifying. A judge shall not testify as a comment 1. Rule 3.4, appointments to government positions. Comment 1, 2. Oh, there's a rule. Look at that. Shift F10. And again, right now, just then, my body just let me know to move around a little bit. And I'm going to like stretch my back and okay, that's good. That's better. Use of non-public information. Comment 1, 2. Affiliation with discriminatory organizations. Comment 1, 2, 3, 4. Participation A 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. A B B. I guess that must be an 8. Comment 1. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and position this one, just because it'll be easy to get confused later. Because that 8 looks like a B. Wait, those ones are an A and a B. But they're the wrong, they're supposed to be lowercase. What? They've got the lower cases and upper cases swapped. Can you believe that? How do I get it back to level 0? These, oh my gosh. Wow. They reversed the A and B's in this section. They reversed the capitalization. They inverted. That's better to say. They inverted the capitalization. So now this one needs to go back to 0. See, not just level 0, but like, no. Oh yeah, default paragraph style. That's what it needs to go back to. See, because even level 0 is actually indented. It theoretically, if it says level 0, it should be not indented. But it's messed up. It's not ideal. There we go. Okay. And then, do you notice how I kind of zoom in, zoom out, scroll around, look for mistakes, fix things, but then I also try to stay on task. Like right now I'm removing pilcrows, right? But I'm also, if there's an egregious error, I will stop and make a repairer. An error repairer. I am an error repairer. I'm one who repairs errors. If there is an error, it must be repaired. And I really enjoyed this type of formatting work, and some of the kind of mundane, tedious tasks, like what I'm doing right now, which is removing pilcrows, for me is relaxing. It's satisfying. It feels productive. It is productive. What I'm doing right now is enormously productive. And if you, I don't know if you're going to stay to the end, but I would recommend scrolling, or like, kind of tapping around, or clicking around on the video and checking different segments of it out. And like kind of, I'd maybe, if I were watching this, or in the future when I watch this, I'll probably go to the end of the video and then come back to this part of the video and continue watching to see whether or not all this, relaxing, kind of slow, steady formatting work, how much am I accomplishing here, really? Am I wasting my time, or am I being productive with my time? Right now, I'm being extremely, 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 extremely productive with my time. I am not rushing. I am proceeding at a steady clip. But when I get to like kind of the bottom of a run, I slow down a little bit, look at what I'm doing. I zoom in and out frequently. See right here, I just noticed from zooming out, there's a big paragraph there. See that? Another substantially sized paragraph. There's an effective date. Oops, what did I do? Effective date, what is that? 2023 for competence. As part of my process of abridging this information, I've been removing the effective dates. It's not that I don't care about them, but I can look them up if I need to. And so for this present iteration of this document, I'm removing the effective dates. This effective date is 2017 for confidentiality of information. D comment. I can't read them from this far away. It's kind of fun to read a little bit as we go. It's like reading road signs. Have you ever done that when you read the road signs out loud while you go? (11, 12) detection of conflicts of interest. 14, 15, 16, 17 acting competently to preserve confidentiality. Former client. Conflict of interest, current clients, except A1, A2, B, notwithstanding 1, 2, 3, 4, comment, general principles 1, 2, 3, 4, 4A, 5, identifying conflicts of interest. Whoop. Oh, did you hear me sigh just now? Did you hear that? I sighed. That's those sighs that I was talking about. And sighs, I believe, I could be wrong about this. I'd love to hear someone give me a better explanation in the comments, but I believe that sighing is a form of body language. But it's like the very edge between body language and verbal language. It's in the liminal zone between body language and verbal language. But it is definitely, yeah, I would say a form of nonverbal communication, isn't it? Sighing, groaning, grunting. I guess when we think about nonverbal communication, a lot of times we think more about movements, body movements, like the movements of the arms, for example, or hands. But really, most of that, I'm going to turn that fan off. Most of that non-voluntary, or get the microphone closer, that'll be better too. I think most of that non-verbal communication is in the face, actually. But it's also the entire body. It's amazing how, like, if you watch someone's face and you see them making a face, like their face changes. Whatever facial expression they had before, and it just kind of changes. Look, this section I already cleaned up previously. I remember doing that, actually. I'd totally forgotten about doing that, but now that I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this part. I already cleaned it up. And it looks like, oh yeah, it looks like when I changed one of the formatting spots, one of the formatting changes that I made changed the way these flow, the way these guys flow. I think I want to change these to deep or medium. I want to change these to medium. What are they at level 0? I want to change them to medium. Yeah, that's right. Now I can use Control to select multiple sections at a time, make them all medium. Let's make this one medium while I'm at it. Yeah, and then all these ones medium. Sick. See how the formatting changed here? It was because I updated A underscore 0 levels 00. Made those changes a little bit earlier to that. And it messed up some formatting that I had done here earlier. There we go. Got it. Yes. Oh, I think I know what it means when I sigh like that. I think I finally figured it out. I think it means I was holding my breath while I was focused on something. And then I sighed after I kind of finished a little subtask. Like one of these. It's like every time I get a little break, then like my body wants to sigh just a little bit. And I really had not thought about it or been aware of it until just now with regard to these editing tasks that I'm doing, which I think is an interesting effect of having a microphone here and the fact that I'm streaming right now. Having the microphone in my immediate presence helps me to be a little bit more aware of my own actions, my own words and actions. Do you guys prefer to do this kind of stuff with the pilcrows visible or not visible? Right now the pilcrows are not visible. Here, I'll show you the difference between pilcrows on and pilcrows off. And then you can think about if you like it better the one way or the other way. Control F10. Now the pilcrows are on. Here in LibreOffice, they're kind of a medium blue color. It's actually for me, a very nice color. Because it's not too light, and it's not too dark, and it's not too bright, and it's not too colorful. But it's not too uncolorful. Ooh, did you see that? Did you see what just happened? Ooh, that was a nice catch right there. Ooh. That's a nice little catch. I just now what I did is I saw myself make an editing error. And it explains an editing error which I had seen earlier. And luckily with the use of Control Z, I'm able to undo and redo my steps. And we'll be able to see what I did. So I'm going to undo it. So I was coming along here. Redo, redo. Good. Good. Oops, bad, look. Oh, there it is. See it? Everything's going fine. Got rid of the effective date. What was it? 2024 for misconduct. So they updated it. It might be new. It's probably just updated it, but its latest update was 2024. That's what those effective dates let you know. I was doing good. Got rid of that. Good. Oops. See, and I just got rid of just the first little section of that line right there. And it had to do with me holding down the shift key while I was editing. And we can clearly see that that editing error that I saw earlier was very similar. Now, I can't promise that it was caused in the same manner, but there's a good likelihood that it was. By being calm about my editing mistakes. If I make a mistake, I'm just so chill with it. I acknowledge that I do make mistakes. This helps me to remain calm, peaceful, focused. Oops. See, I just made a mistake, but I did not feel like. Here's what I want to tell you guys to avoid, okay? If you make a mistake here, I'll give an example, okay? Oops. Let's see. Oops, I accidentally deleted a whole word of Supreme Court. Did you see that? Oops. Okay. Oh, that's okay. All right, I'll fix it. Okay. Oops, I fixed it too far. That's okay. No problem. That's the way we do want to do it. That's the correct way. Okay, now I'm going to show you the incorrect way. Okay. Oh, dang it. Oh, gosh, dang it. Oh, man, look what I did. Did you hear that my response that time was very different? That's the response we want to not have. We want to practice the proper response. I'm not going to spend any more time telling you about the wrong response. We just want to remember throughout our lives, throughout our daily lives, and I'll tell you when you'll see this especially is when you're driving and you miss an exit, okay? Or you miss a turn, or you miss a driveway, or you miss a house, or you miss an apartment complex, or you miss a town. I've had it happen. One time my mom missed an exit and then drove for like 2 hours. And then my dad woke up and realized that she'd missed the exit. And it is so interesting. You know, my dad has a significant anger problem. He's had a significant anger problem for a long time. For a lot of years he has. And really driving in road trips was one of the main times and settings where he would get angry. And on that particular mistake, in that particular day, on that particular setting, he did not get angry at all. He just acknowledged the mistake, recognized that it was a normal, common, understandable human mistake, did not make a big deal about it. I guess he made a little bit of a big deal about it by teasing. Yeah. So he didn't get angry about it. That's good. But he did tease her about it a lot. At the time, however, I didn't even notice the teasing. What I noticed is that he did not get angry. That we lost like 4 hours of travel time. 2 hours out of the way after we missed our exit, and 2 hours back. I'm trying to remember if we... I'm trying to remember if we like cut the corner because we'd already gone so far. I'm trying to remember if we just drove back or if we kept going on a different route. I think we ended up keep going on a different route. But we might have driven back. But overall, it ended up costing us somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. I'd say 3.5 to 4 hours. Total. All said and done. And the thing that stood out to me is that once the error was discovered, my dad did not make a big deal about it at all at the moment. Like in terms of getting angry or getting frustrated or getting angry at my mom or expressing anger and frustration at my mom. He did tease her about it afterwards, not just that day, but like the next day after we arrived and after we were there on vacation. He teased her about it multiple times that trip. He teased her about it multiple times subsequently. And I didn't even notice the teasing usually. I notice it now. But at the time, I just noticed that he did not get angry about losing 4 hours of travel time. And the 4 hours of gas, that's probably like, I don't know, how much gas do you burn through driving for 4 hours on the freeway? Or on a highway, freeway or highway. I guess it was a highway. It was probably a combination. We either missed our exit off the freeway to get onto the highway, or off the highway to get onto the freeway, or off some random highway to get onto some other random highway. He did not get angry. Like I say, there has been teasing over the years about that, and he teased her about it subsequently. But in the moment, he did the right thing, relatively, which was to not throw a fit at all. Look at these lettering. SS. Wow. Oh, and those ones actually are level 0, the true level 0, default paragraph style. See, I'm actually calling level 1. This should be called level 1. It's called level 0 just because it's for the same reasons of why the keyboard is QWERTY instead of ABC. It just is, dude. Hey, did you guys figure out in the comments? Did you put that in the comments? How to scroll sideways? It's so nice. The programs that allow you to scroll sideways, not just up and down. See this up and down? But to scroll sideways. Did you guys put that in the comments yet? Did you guys figure it out? How to scroll sideways? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 6, 7. C, D, E, F, G, and it's going to go all the way up to double X or something like that. S, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm looking for numbers right now, I guess. Numbers, yeah. Cool. Y, A, B, B, G, G. I don't see any numbers there. Oh, there's one. Just moved the microphone a little bit on accident. Okay, so that's an interesting one. What's that? Oh, definitions. That's why. So this will be another one where I will go through. I'm going to do it later. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll go through and I will make these words like applicant. I'll make those bold. Right now I'm feeling really good about the progress I've made on removing pilcrows. So far, I've come across one significant editing error where one word and like part of a sentence, or possibly just one word, that was one phrase actually, was missing. Look, those ones have already been cleaned up, it looks like. Oh yeah, those I cleaned up. Yeah, those are at the very end of the document. Okay. Back where I started. Cool. Nice. Control S to save. Sometimes at this point, I would even like save a separate version. Like I would, this one, just show you here. Judicial Conduct Abridged 2.odt. That's the name of the file. These are like some of the other files that I've had open. Judicial conduct, latent PD code of ethics, latent PD manual page 1, judicial full, grandma, appeals, latent prosecutor mission statement. So anyway, that's kind of my like labeling system or whatever. But judicial conduct abridged 2. I could go ahead and save it as judicial conduct abridged 3, judicial conduct abridged 4. I'll just go ahead and do that right now, just for demonstration purposes. What I would do in that case is I would do save as. So first I'll save it the way it was. Good. Make sure it stays at, save it the way I got it right now. Good. That's the way it's going to stay as abridged 2. Now I'm just going to do Control Shift S. And I'm also going to check the size of the document while I'm here. 142 KB. Okay, good. So I'm not taking up a ton of extra space right now by saving this extra version. That's what I'm checking on. Because if it's going to say, if each version takes like 3 gigabytes of space, then I'm going to think twice about making extra versions of it. But right now, where it's a small file size, I have no problem whatsoever just creating a third version of it. Boom, there we go. All right, saved it. Now I got it. Judicial Conduct Abridged 3 is now the new title of this document. And that just means that I saved an extra copy as Judicial Conduct Abridged 2, and now from now on, I'm working on a new copy, different copy. It's going to be more updated. And if I make any mistakes now while I'm going, like if I just accidentally delete an entire paragraph, if I just accidentally completely mess up a whole entire section of my document, then I can always go back to version 2 and restore, recover, you know, kind of rebuild from there. Doing these streams gives me a chance to practice speaking to people. It gives me a chance to practice working on things while I'm showing how I do it. So it gives you a chance to see my methodology and to see how I'm going through and making this rather large document much more manageable through the use of paragraph formatting. By going through and removing pilcrows, I've partially memorized this document without reading it, really, not reading much of it, but I've gotten a sense of the whole entire document in its entirety in terms of, yeah, okay, now we're with the canons. Remember, these are the canons, and the rules look different in this section. See the canons? Canon 4. Okay, now we get to chapter 3. Chapter 3 has a lot of words. See that? A lot of words, really a lot of fine print in chapter 3. Okay, then chapter 8. And then chapter 4, that must be, that's all right, that must be article 8 or something. Yeah, it must be like group 8, or I think that's article 8. Interesting. So it needs a different, let's give it a different title. It needs an article title. There. Article titles need a border though. Right click, article title, modify. That's how I get here. Look, see article title down there? Right click, the article title is one of my styles, right click, modify. Takes a second, wait, okay, here it is. So I'm modifying the article title paragraph style. In the organizer, I can see that that's the name of the paragraph style. Usually I go first to indents and spacing. It's something I change all the time, constantly. Indents and spacing looks pretty good on that one. Arial black, so that's very strong. I think I'll probably take that one down to... Yeah, I'll leave it as Arial black. That's correct. That's good. Give it a border. Okay. There we go. It's got a thin border. That's nice. There we go. That's it. Look at this. There we go. That's the way I've got them formatted right now for the articles. This one's a chapter. See, these little things are articles right here. This right here is an outline. It's an outline. Lawyer's Oath. I found it. This is what I've been looking for, actually. This one I will read. I do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Utah, and that I will discharge the duties of lawyer and counselor at law as an officer of the courts of this state with honesty, fidelity, professionalism, and civility, and that I will faithfully observe the rules of professional conduct and the standards of professionalism and civility promulgated by the Supreme Court of the state of Utah. See, so that means, so I just found now, these guys right here, the rules of professional conduct and the standards of professionalism and civility. I'm going to try to look for those eventually, not right now, but I've just discovered a new set of documents. And then obviously there's the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Utah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make these bold, 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 look, character style. Keyboard shortcut, and it makes them bold, bold, bold. Civility, and that's an interesting vocabulary word that obviously I knew that word existed, but it was not currently in my toolbox. All right, so this particular paragraph, I want to, I'm just going to go in directly. I have a keyboard shortcut to do paragraph formatting. I'm just going to increase the line spacing. That's good. Maybe I should make it a little bigger. Yeah. Below the paragraph, if I add spaces above and below the paragraph, it really changes it a lot. This is really something I've been looking for, is this lawyer's oath. And then I'm curious if there's an oath, a separate oath for the judges, or if they just take that oath originally as a lawyer, and then that does it. And it probably explains that in here, and I'm going to read that later. But that's a nice find for me right there. These major subheadings, I don't even know if I'm really putting them in the right spot, but we'll come back through later. No, those are not major subheadings. Those are definitely in the wrong spot. Those are, or if anything, those could even be like a subheading, like that. Nah, just like that. And those ideally would still like some more formatting improvement, but for right now, they'll be okay. And that's the end right there. Okay. So when we get to the UUUVVVWXXX, we're almost to chapter 5. AAA, look, triple A, not just 2, but 3. After double Z. After double Z comes triple A. I did not know that until just now. I mean, if I'd thought about it, I could have understood it, but I just never realized that. That's awesome. I even have a shortcut that takes out the like it goes backspace, backspace, and then adds a tab. Like that. There we go. That'll be a good way to go now. So what I'll do, I'll start at the bottom this time. Yeah, I'm going to look for the rules now. Those are definitions. There's a rule, see? And I use my shortcut and just plops it in there. Now, where you're really going to see the magic now is this one. Watch the magic happen. Here it goes. That's what it's all about right there. Did you see how easy that was for me? That's why I feel nice right now. That's why I feel good. Because I know I'm making excellent use of my time. I know that my actions are efficient and useful. I know this because of my good attitude. I know I have a good attitude. I'm not complaining. If I make a mistake, I don't beat myself up. I'm cool about it. I just say, oh, that's okay. Oops. No problem. Did you hear me sigh again? And that one, I think I sighed because I made a mistake. Or because I missed a period. One of the two. I think it was because I made a mistake. Just a really tiny little sigh. Kind of like, I think it's, to me, it sounded, what I heard with that little sigh that I made, as it was like a little expression of personal frustration. Oh, did you see the magic? Watch the magic. Boom. See, I have no reason to be dissatisfied. And those little habits, they come from childhood. Well, they come from our parents, right? Yeah, and our friends and neighbors, not just our parents. It's not just our parents who do that. It comes from our community. I think it's a better way to say it. We learn distasteful habits of communication from our community And we also learn good communication habits from our community. And so part of the challenge is to not pick up the bad habits. We want to be able to pick up the good habits, but we don't want to pick up those bad habits. Or we have, really, actually, even better, what we need to recognize is that it's inevitable that we're going to pick up bad habits wherever we go. And just try to identify those bad habits and try to be like, oh, whoops, okay. Yep, that's right. My bad. You already said that you are busy right now and you need to leave, and yet I'm still talking to you, and that's a mistake. And that's my mistake. And the way that I fix that is not by telling you, oh, well, you see, I just get carried away sometimes because I have these stories that I want to tell, like, oh, this other story that I just remembered. No, that's not the way to do it. If I make a mistake of accidentally talking too long, which I'm known to do, I'll be honest, truth be told, that's a mistake I've made before. Then once I realize, oh, I'm talking too much, I need to let other people have a turn to talk. The way to do that is not to say, I'm talking too much, I need to give others a turn to talk. The way to do that is to stop talking. I'm going to take some time to think about these ones. Oh, look, I see where it is. Look. Do you see it? It came through different this time. I'll come back and hit those later. Yeah, I'll come back and hit those ones later. Here's one of the ones that I'm trying to hit right now. Notice that there's an extra space right here. See that extra space? I want to make sure to remember to nail that extra space. Oh, move this around there. See it? See that extra space? Let's see. Okay, right here, I'll show you. Watch. See, there's still an extra space. Do you see it? Hear that? That I hit delete twice? Could you hear that? This is very satisfying to do. The satisfaction is significant. Looks like I already got some of these. Oh, here's one. By taking out the word rule and by getting rid of the period at the end there, and also by putting in a tab here and adjusting the formatting of the title so it kind of cooperates in terms of screen wrapping. All these things make it easier to digest this information. All of these formatting changes, which I'm making right now, have enormous effect once it comes time to print. You can clearly see that I'm really just making everything very concise and consolidated and compact. And what I'm trying to do is just get rid of any unnecessary distractions. We want good distractions that help us, but we don't want unnecessary distractions. Okay, I'm back to the top now. Control S to save. Zoom out a little bit, take a look around, let's see what we got now. I think it's about 30 pages. Let's see. 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's trying to zoom out. The computer's frozen. There it goes. There it goes. I zoomed out too far. It can't, this is way too much information. It can't handle it. Look at all those words. And it's not the words that the computer has a hard time managing. It's rendering all this, rendering all this text. All right, I think it's, there we go. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. There we go. It's loaded. Okay, that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's less than 30 pages now, I think. Could be wrong. Fewer than 30 pages, I believe. And this is not the entire scope of this particular set of documents. This is an abridgment. Um, 26 pages, it says. Maybe let's just go through really quickly and just kind of scan all the pages. Okay, the first page is an overview. It's kind of a table of contents. Looks like some of the formatting is messed up on it. I'll fix that later. It's good enough for right now. 1, general provisions. Standards of judicial professionalism and civility. Preamble. Standards. Okay, so I think that is the standards of civility that I just found earlier. And it's interesting they did not cite or reference this rule here. So it's apparently there's other documents and other information about the rules of civility, and this is only part of it. Is what I would assume, but this might be all of it. This is probably the main reference. This is the main thing that is referring to. So this will be an important area that I'm going to read a lot, especially right here, the standards. The preamble too, but standards in particular, right down to there. I might come back and format those and make them bigger. I have not read those yet. I've read some miscellaneous sections, but I've not read this document in its entirety, nowhere near. So I see, okay, Chapter 1, Article 3. I think I might send this down to a new page. And get rid of these. Chapter 1, Article 3, Professionalism and Civility. Article 4, Standing Committee on Appellate Representation. Article 5, Discipline, Disability, Sanctions. Article 6, Mandatory Continuing Legal Education. Article 7, Office of Legal Services Innovation. This thing here, I think this is just a bug. Maybe not. Maybe there was actually a page break, looks like. Yeah. Anyway, 2, Code of Conduct. This is Chapter 2, has preamble, scope, applicability, comment, terminology. And then Canon 1, Canon 2, bunch of rules. Canon 3, a lot of rules. Canon 4, couple of 3 rules. And then rules of professional conduct. And then finally we get to the lawyer's oath. Terminology. Oh yeah, client-lawyer relationship is what we're on now. So this will be an article. We call this Article 1. Article 0. Article 1. Yeah, I see. It's Article 1 right here. So Control-Shift-J. Article 1. Tab. Oops. Oh no. What did I do? Oh no. Oh my gosh. What happened? What did I do? Don't know what I did. I accidentally dragged something and I don't know what happened. Alright, well, whatever happened is too late. Okay, so then this one's going to be article title. There we go. Nice. I don't know if that one's actually going to be an article. Technically, I don't know if they label it that way, but that's consistent with the labeling of the other sections. I've also got them called major subheading. It could be one of those also. I think that's actually more appropriate. Let's see. Nah. There we go. Yeah. Oh, cool. So I think what I got to do is invert the borders. So you can see that here on the rule titles, the border is very strong. I'm going to soften that one. There we go. And bring it down closer. There we go. And I'm actually going to increase space above a little bit. A little bit more. That's nice. And then for article title, heavier. Make it like level 1. 1.25. Fine. There we go. Good. And then, how's the spacing? Let's just leave it like that for now. It's better than it was. So you can see what we're doing all the way is trying to make everything easier to understand. So like the articles are a bigger kind of section, and the rules are more of a subsection or down below more. So by kind of respecting the chain of command here, so to speak, we're making it easier to understand. Really makes it a lot more organized. And then something similar happens. Now I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to add the these indents. So now we're really going to finally get this document in order with the indentation by using paragraph styles. Now these ones that have the lowercase letters in the parentheses, they're going to just stay right where they are. Default paragraph style. Then the numbers get indented slightly. Here's another number. I'm going to change this one. That's it, right? Yeah. Just move it slightly. Watch it. Watch all these get updated all at the same time. I'll go over here, update selected style, and then watch in the middle. Watch them all get updated. See how they all got updated? And the whole document, in all 30 pages, all 26 pages got updated like that. There's some numbers. Okay. Oops. There. Do I have a keyboard shortcut for just default paragraph style? I don't think I do. I haven't been using that one very much. It's a pain to have to come back in here to do it, but yeah, that one was pushed in when it wasn't supposed to be. Okay. Okay, here I am ready to continue with high efficiency. And you'll notice that during those moments just now when it was going kind of slow, then I was just kind of being more studious and a little more careful. Now I'm ready to jam again. What's this one? That. Should I leave all the effective dates for later? Or should I take them out as I go? There. Numbers. 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 Letters. Numbers. Letters. Numbers. Letters. Numbers. Letter. Letter. letter, number. Letter, number, capital letter, number, letter, number, capital, number, letter, number, letter. This one's already been formatted. Cool. That one gets up to MM. See, and this time they used periods instead of parentheses on just some parts. These ones have brackets instead of parentheses. That's interesting. What kind of paragraph style is this? Needs some space underneath it. We'll fix that one later. Yeah, we got to figure out I don't know that I have a style for these guys. I don't know if I'll see more of those kind of things. Comment also could be kind of like that one. Yeah, got it. Okay, yeah, I know what I'll do. To you. There we go. And then this one will be basic heading. Basic. Okay. And then the difference for this particular paragraph is just that it's going to be bold. Yeah, let's actually make it 7 also. Okay. And as long as we're at it, what's that one? Chapter head? It's interesting. Hmm. I'll just hard code it in here. I'll just fix this one manually. There we go. So now I can downsize these to basic heading. Make it so much easier to find these later. And then if I want to change them even more in the future, I can. But now at least I can find them. Oh, that's a lot easier to read. Nice, I already got those all bolded. The chapter titles are making me wonder. I'm trying to see where I've even used them. Up here. I'm going to have to reformat that area anyway. Oh, they're here also. So when they're followed by an article title, they look good. But some of them right now are not looking good. I'm just going to have to add a little bit of space down there. They're just too... they're just too egregious. That's not necessary. Control M, remove direct formatting. I think the rules don't need as much space up above them. That's better. Yeah, that does look better for the chapter title there for Canon 1. These asterisks are very funny. Okay, what I'll do in this case is I'll create a sub rule. It'll be rule canonical. Canon. It'll be the canon rules. Rule canon, rule canon. And what we'll do for rule canon is going to be the same as the other one, but it's going to be, we're going to bump it out a little farther, like that. And so now this one, see? We'll do that with all of these. See? Let me ask you something, dear viewer. Now at this point of this video, now that you look at the document and you see how I'm going through and just very easily, just watch this rule 2.5, for example, competence, diligence, and cooperation. Okay, watch how easily I format this to be exactly the same as all those other ones. Now let's see if we really believe that paragraph styles are actually helpful or not. Let's see. Responsibility to decide, okay. Decorum, demeanor, and communication with jurors. Basic, right? Basic. 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 You're basic. I saw that on that TV show where the girl goes to the other place, I think they call it. You're basic. That's what she says. Uh-oh, no. No. This one, there we go. You're basic. Your rule canon. Your rule canon. Comment. I think comment really should be smaller than the basic. But for right now, that's going to work good. Or as they say in the academic circles, it would work well. You're basic. You're basic. You're basic. You're basic. Then what else was I looking for? Oh yeah, the rules. Here we go. So then any of these rules that have not been collapsed down, we will collapse them. There's one. Your canon. Rule canon, tab, delete. Rule canon, tab, delete. Looks like that one's already done. That one's already done. That one's good. That one's good. Here we go. tab, delete, rule canon. Delete, tab, rule canon. There we go. Delete, rule canon, tab. Good. Good. It's kind of cool because these rules have the capital letters, so it just distinguishes them a little bit from the other rules. In addition, it's gonna look, these rules are obviously gonna look different than the other ones. Tab, delete, rule canon, delete, tab, rule canon, tab, rule canon, delete. Oh, do you know why I'm doing it in different orders? It's so that I can move my hand to different spots of the keyboard. So that one time I do tab first and then I do delete. And the next time I do delete first and then I do tab. Tab, delete, rule canon, delete, rule canon, tab, delete, tab, rule canon. I think that you should be convinced by this point that these paragraph styles are indeed very useful. I think you were probably already convinced before we started. If you chose to watch this video, there's a good possibility that you already believed in paragraph styles. Very high likelihood. What's this one? Basic. Rule canon. Rule canon. Rule canon. Rule canon. Oh, lawyer's oath. I thought I had changed this one. It might have gotten switched back because I changed something else. I don't know, but it might just be a different one. I'm just going to tag it like that for right now so I can notice it later and come back to it. That's such a huge, important. Do, 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 do. Do, do. I think that one's an inverted capitalization also. Oh, the canons are inverted. Yeah, that makes sense. It's comment, I see. You're basic. Just saw something interesting. Look. It's got like its own paragraph. What's that about? Oh, it's because it's in the comment section. That's why. Make these basic. Notice how I don't even have to select all the text. It just makes the entire paragraph look like that. See, basic is way better than that other one, so it's definitely moving forward in strides. Oh, here's this. I finally found some numbers that need some arrangement. 5. Here we go. A, B, here we go. B1, B2, B3, B4. And this is, again, another way of kind of numbering and lettering. So sometimes they do them capital, sometimes they do them lowercase. And then in this case, instead of doing 1, 2, 3, they did B1, B2, B3. I don't know if that means that a different lawyer wrote it or a different group of lawyers wrote it. Probably that it was written in a different year, maybe. But also, I think what happens with these sort of things, it's a lot like programming. I mean, really, if you look at the law is like a computer program. If you've done computer programming, your computer programs probably look a lot like this document. And they're structured probably somewhat like this document. With the indenting, that's the way they do it in computer programming. So I think I've come to an area that's got some more formatting to be done. Oh, I already did it. There it is. Yep. Okay, on to the next page. Here we go. Start over here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Here's one of these guys. 18, 19, former client, 20, 20A. Here we go. A1, A2. B, B1, B2, B3, B4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4A. I don't know that we need to indent that one. 5, identifying conflicts of interest. 6, 7, 8, identifying conflicts of interest. Where's responsibilities? Basic. Oops. Crap. Okay, when that happens, what I do is I make those basic, and then I fix this one back to default. And then I get this one basic. Not a problem. Did you see me freak out? No. Did you see me stay calm? Yes. Basic. So I just nailed that other page, so now I just move right on to here. I'm really mostly looking for just those words that are just kind of standing out on their own that need to be emphasized. But I'm also looking for like letters and numbers, like where they need to be indented. I'm not seeing too much need for indentation here. But here we have some of these basic level headings. Here we have 10A. We might indent that, we might not, but probably not. Oops, we got 10A, and then next comes nothing. So yeah, I don't think I need to worry about that. These headings are critical for developing understanding of text. By going through and formatting these headings right now, this gives me a massive knowledge of this document. And then after I finish formatting it and I print it, and then I read it and I study it, then you can imagine that at that point, I'm going to really know this document inside out. I'm going to already have had this experience of formatting it. I'm already going to know where A1, A2, 1A, 1B, all that stuff is all over the entire document. Remember where things were indented and not indented. And it'll have all these nice headings and subheadings. This one's should be. Yeah, so I'm going to make these to stay with the next paragraph. That's going to be text flow. Keep with next paragraph. Okay. There it goes. Should stay with the next paragraph. Oh, there's a subheading. That's interesting. Yep, those ones I think we want those to be basic in this case because they're within the comments, aren't they? Yeah, comment. So I had spotted those a long time ago. How about this one? I don't know, let's make that one major subheading. Oh, this one's totally different. Look, the comment doesn't have its own little, well, this one's really different. Which one is this? Standards of professionalism and civility. This is totally different. It's all cross-referenced. Okay. All right, I just created a new style, and the way I named it, it's going to always go to the very top next to default paragraph style. It's going to make it easy to access. I'm going to change this style and make it like really small, like size 4, I guess. Not 40. That's not what I want. Here we go, 4. And the color will be like light blue, I guess. Okay. There we go. Great, that's good. Because these things are just, right now, I don't want to delete them yet. Eventually I want to delete them, but I don't know what they mean. I haven't read them. Right now, as I'm going through and formatting them, I am looking at them and thinking about them, but I still don't really have a sense of like what they're pointing to. I see R prof cond. Is that it? That's it. Okay, that's it for that. Oh, no, here we go. And also, since they are cross references, I can leave them really small and hard to see. And then if I just need to look them up, I can use a magnifying glass, literally. Um, oh, look, there's some letters that have indenting. So I'm going to go up to the top of that section. There we go. Nice. A1, A1A, A2, A2, A, B, C, D, E, B, B1, B2, B2, A, B, C. So just by like kind of hiding those cross references, this section just became a zillion times easier to read. Look at how hard that is to read right there. Lawyers shall adhere to cross references, cross references. Cross references like want to shout out at you. But now that I'm hiding them, even just for right now, just for trying to format this stuff, it's going to be so much easier. And then I'll be able to decide if I want to delete those or keep them in there. Okay, I've got some more indenting I can do here. I'm going to fix the columns finally. It never bothered me until now. I guess like I noticed it a little bit, but anyway, that's really easy to fix. There. Um, I'm going to make another character style. Which will be like technical bold. Technical. Okay. And then this one. One thing I'll point out is that I'm not going to keep this bold technical style this huge all the time. I'm going to later come back and make it smaller. Most likely, maybe not, but most likely. Might actually be really convenient to leave it big just like that, actually. But the original plan was just to come back and change the style later. But remember, I can change all of them at the same time. So once I get them queued up here, and I'm going to change this one's paragraph style. Go back to character styles. Comment, yep. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a break pretty soon. Dang, running out of energy here. Well, I've accomplished a lot, and I'm not quite ready to print this document, but I'm dang close. After I get this little section of numbers done, I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to take a final look at the document in terms of final look for today's live stream. Then we're going to finish up the live stream. I'm going to say goodbye. Well, I just remembered there was one other thing I wanted to talk about on this live stream, which is the reason of why I'm doing this. I have court tomorrow, and I've been doing this type of process, almost this same process. Basically, yeah, this exact same process. I've been doing this. Well, for a couple of months, really, I've been doing this. And getting ready for court. And this is not the first document that I've done this with. So I've gone through and done this with numerous statutes, which is what I started on. And then the Utah Rules of Civil Procedure, the Utah Rules of Criminal Procedure, the Utah Rules of Evidence, Layton Police Department. I could show you a whole bunch of documents that I've done this same process to. Oh, there's professionalism and civility. That's another thing I was looking for. Do you remember that vocabulary from earlier? There it is. Look at that. Article 3. Okay. See, so that's what I was one of the things I was looking for, and I just found it. And it's like down at the bottom. See that? It's like at the very end, before the paralegal stuff. But that's just the way I've organized it, because I just pulled out a whole bunch of information, just the stuff that I thought I needed the most from chapter 1, and then I brought in all of chapter 2. There's chapter 2. So chapter 2 starts at page 8, okay? Okay. Page 8 is right there. Chapter 1 starts on page 2. Here it is. And chapter 3, is that it? There's chapter 3, and then there's article 3. Article 8 is maintaining the integrity of the profession. That's article 3. Well, this is chapter 3, rules of professional conduct. Oh, look. So then, but it's not until we get into chapter 4 that we find standards of professionalism and civility. Oh, and that's where we get all the cross references too. It's just in that chapter 4, article 3. Oh, I know. I know what happened. I know the issue. Right. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay, chapter 4. Article 1, integration and management. And then article 3. So I've skipped article 2, or there is no article 2. And then article 3, standards of professionalism and civility. And that's a really important section. But isn't it interesting that it's really buried? You know, it's really hard to find. But maybe if they print it in a book or something, I don't know. But for me, it was, you know, this is one of the things that I've been looking for not the whole time that I've been doing all these documents, but ever since my last court appearance, my previous to last court appearance, ever since my last court appearance in Layton, I've been searching for this information. Not the paralegals information, but I am interested in that. But the one I've been searching for is this one. Standards of professionalism and civility, duties of lawyers, judicial officials, maintaining the integrity of the profession, that kind of stuff. Lawyer's oath. I'm interested to find if there's a judge's oath. I still haven't seen that, but I know there's canons. Let's see. I think there are the canons up here. Not yet. There's rules of professional conduct. That's another thing I've been looking for. There's the lawyer's oath. those comment things, they're too bold. In fact, they don't need to stand out that much. I'm gonna have to go back through, I think, and do something with those because they're really a bit too strong. I don't know if I'll have time tonight. I'm trying to print this thing out tonight and take it with me and have it available to reference and like read and to basically, whenever I meet with the prosecutor or the judge, I want to be able to have all the rules about how they're supposed to be professional and how they're supposed to be honest, civility, that kind of stuff. So that then I will feel that I'm prepared. I feel like that I'm pretty well prepared. And also, this is not just for today. I mean, not just for tomorrow. This would be like a lot of effort for just one court appearance, which it's like it's not the trial tomorrow. Tomorrow is a pre-trial. And if I'm getting ready for pre-trial, my time is better spent focusing on other things than trying to publish a very large document. But I've already done those other pre-trial preparations. And so, fortunately, I had some time available to work on this one. So here I am. I really enjoy vocabulary, and one thing I've noticed with vocabulary is that it's helpful to study it one day and then come back and then study it another day. And so to have this type of printed material with me available in court, especially if I'm going to be sitting there for a while waiting my turn while the other people are going up, this gives me something very productive to review, underline, highlight, make notes in while I'm there in the courthouse waiting for them to call my name. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 5 books like this. Like, I would call this a book because when I print it, I mean, if it was all in its full, like, normal size and I hadn't reduced it like this, it would probably be like, let's see, it's 60,000 words, 61,000 words. So, man, I don't know how many pages that is. Like, I've got 5 columns here, though. So, I've really shrunk it down. Oh, I want to shrink it down even more, get that one up there. Oh, I see. It's because these are all trying to stay with their next see, they're staying with the next paragraph. That's text flow. That's good like that. All right, it's time for the verdict. You can put it in the comments, and you can see the document now, and you can see kind of from what it's going to look like when it's printed. I guess that's the closest we can get with 2 pages. And And in terms of understanding the layout of the document and where to look for information, in terms of the different areas and different information being easy to identify and easy to find and being organized. And so now I have not yet memorized this information. I've not yet memorized all the words, but I can fairly well say that I've memorized where all the stuff is and what the general names of the headings and titles are. So I'm fair well on my way to memorizing this. And if I need to memorize something, this is the way I can do it. There's other ways to do it also. I've highlighting. I have methods of highlighting which help a lot. Okay, so I'm about to put some final touches on here just to show you how it's done. There's still some polishing up that needs to be done, but essentially once you get to this stage of the process, well, and it just took care of itself too. It does sometimes fix itself. What you want to do is look at the last page and just not waste a page with 3 words hanging off on the last page. So you want to make sure your pages are filled. And then before you print the whole thing, you want to print a test page. And you want it to be something useful and meaningful. I think there was like the lawyer's oath. Remember that? Is this it? Oops. Well, this will be a good test page. What is it, page 20? It'd be nice to print one of the pages that has some of the blue stuff on it. There we go. This one. Oh, look, and it even starts at the top. That's nice. What page is this? 23. Okay. Control P. Page 23. Okay. So that's basically it. Coming back in here, like even just right here, I might tighten these up. I might reduce the spacing here between those. And same thing, like there's definitely some polishing I'd like to do on this very first page, which is kind of an overview page. I might just eliminate this first page completely because I already have kind of similar information printed elsewhere. And I might just start right here for the abridgment. Right now I get to check my work. So I've printed 2 proof pages. Oh yeah, and look, see, I'm completely missing headers and footers. So right away, just from printing those proof pages, I'm so glad I did not print the entire document. I have so much left to do in this document before I print it. I have not added headers and footers. Actually, that doesn't take that long. Headers and footers are pretty easy. I'll do that real quick. So much left to do. Let's see. So much left to do. Let's see how long it takes me. But definitely, okay, definitely what I would say is I'm really glad that I did not print all 26 pages. So much left to do. Oh yeah, one thing I'll show you about the footers and headers also is that they have a natural, let's see, it's a page number. They have like a natural boundary area, and the way to fix that is to go into your page style settings, header and footer, and see spacing there? There we go. It's probably a little tight. That's good. Let's make them 8. Nine. Yeah. Rules of professional practice. Supreme Court rules of professional practice. I'm pretty sure this is too close to the bottom. I don't think it'll want to print that close. I don't know, man. We want it like right in between there, like that. Oh, I see. Page. That's where I want to get this little tiny adjustment I'm trying to make, you guys. I used to spend hours making adjustments like this. There we go. See? And that's where I want it, I think. I don't know, but it's pretty close. Pretty close to where I want it. No, I don't want the footer to have columns. There should be no columns for the footer. What in the world? There we go. That's better. And then I like to, this is like one of my special cool tricks that I do, is that I just copy and paste and repeat the header and footer on top and bottom. Oopsie. Okay. And then what I do, Control A, Control C, and I go up in the header, Control A, Control V. Now they're identical, top and bottom. I'm the only person I know who does that, putting the page number at the top and the bottom. It's very redundant. It's ultra redundant. This is called redundant labeling. A lot of times I will also put the page number not only at the top and the bottom, but also on the top, like right and top left and top and bottom right and bottom left. Like right now I'm even looking at this and considering adding a page number right in here. What happens is when you print it later and you have 26 pages, 28 pages, however much this ends up being, looks like by adding in the header and footer, it kind of adjusts. It ended up taking up more space. That makes sense. See, and so I'll want to come back in here and make sure that the last page is appropriately spaced out here and stuff. I still have a little bit more work to do in the body. But now you can see that it's got the header and footer there. You can feel the presence of the header and the footer without even looking at it necessarily. You just feel it, that it's there, and it gives you all this extra helpful information. Oh, look, the header still has a big space. Let me show you how to change that. So header, let's see, default page style. Oops, right click, modify. Header spacing right here. There we go. That's better. That's gonna make the whole document smaller. Take less pages. See? That is essentially the process. I'm just going to do some real, small final touch-ups tonight. But having the page number on the top and the bottom, for me, especially on the top right and top left, then when I'm going through and reading these and sorting them out and putting them in my file folders and stuff, then it's a lot easier to identify which page I'm working with. That's part of the benefit of printing out an exemplar, a proof sheet. That helps you to look at it and think about it and say, oh yeah, we'll do this or we'll do that. Other than that, I'm going to spend some time reading these proof sheets. I'm going to see if the text is too small to read. I might need to make the text bigger. I think I've got it all at size 6. Yeah, so 6 is very small. I'll review it and think about it. Let's look at some of the other documents that I've been working with lately. So Control S to save this. Let's look at some of our other recent documents. Here we have the Layton Police Department Field Manual Code of Ethics. My fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder. That turned out pretty nice. Utah Rules of Civil Procedure Full. This one has 80,000 words and is 38 pages. It's got mostly a 7-point font, and it's using 4 columns instead of 5 columns. It's easier to read, definitely, than the sheets I just printed out. As you can see, this is a well-organized document, easy to read and understand. And I have this big benefit of having gone through and formatted it all so that then when I go back and look up information or study this or read information, I already have a high level of familiarity with this document. What else do we got here? I printed up 6 copies of this Code of Ethics to take with me tomorrow because the police department, the police station is located, it's attached to the courthouse. So I'll be there. I'm going to stop by and I'm going to visit I'm going to try to visit with a lieutenant tomorrow at the police station as well. This is just page 1. This is my page 1 of the police department. I just made my own separate page 1, and then page 2 and the rest is a different thing. But this is, I shrunk down a bunch of the preliminary information they have, and then I brought in some more information here. But you can see that I'm using different types of formatting, but like just this right here, all of this came from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably like 6 pages, 5 or 6 pages, maybe even 7. I've got it condensed down into 1 page here. What else do we have? I'm still working on this one. Layton City Prosecutor Mission Statement. It's not fully formatted yet. I know that those grandma ones are not finished yet. Wow. This one could use some work. It's not like totally perfect, but it's definitely does the job. What's really missing here is a header. You can see that. Look, this page does not have a header. So this is when I was just getting started, and I hadn't quite caught on with everything yet. And what I've actually done is to handwrite in with a marker, with permanent marker. I've been writing the headers in with marker. And but now at this point, I would have, if I've already printed this and I'm already using this, I already have this, and it's actually been a really useful document. But if I come back and print a second copy of it, or if I need to make some changes, there's a lot I could do here to make this easier to read. I was just in a hurry. I just blasted it off. Kind of cool. What about in my folder? Got these different maps. PDFs. I made this PDF of the Layton City Attorney's Office prosecution policies. Strives to ensure a fair, just, timely, and unbiased review of cases. The presumption of innocence and the prosecutor's burden of proof dictate that a prosecutor act with the utmost respect and professionalism in interactions with the accused and defense counsel. And even this, I would format differently if I were to do it today, but I did it a month ago or 2 months ago, and that's how it turned out. Pretty good. It turned out pretty good. Oh yeah, the rules of evidence turned out really nice. I think this one that says reduced is the kind of the one I ended up running with. Oh yeah, I printed it in a whole bunch of different... This was before I figured out columns. I mean, I knew about columns, but like, I hadn't realized to use columns for this project. So I actually have printed out the rules of the civil rules of the rules of evidence, the Utah rules of evidence. And I felt at that time that they were important enough to print all of it. And I don't know that it ended up being 50 pages, but I think it ended up being about 50 pages. And I have that here. See, so you can't see these because we're not on video, but you can hear them. Let's see here. Well, plus I've got all these other folders, but these are the main ones. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've got 5 basically books that I've printed off so far. That was the 6th one I was showing you guys this evening. So this one is the Utah Rules of Civil Procedure. Looks like it's about... Looks like I ended up being able to make some columns. Oh yeah, this is the full civil procedure, not the rules of evidence. That's why. So this one ended up being like 40 pages. Layton Police Department Field Manual, about 30 pages. Once I condensed it down, I think it was 600 pages. Their original PDF. In fact, let me pull that up and show you. Let's see. I've got that saved here. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, 684 pages. And I condensed it down to like 30 or 40 pages. Yeah, see, just to get through to just those first few policies that I showed, this is already on page 11. So I condensed basically 11 pages down into 1 page. And 684 pages, essentially 700 pages, I condensed down into 40 pages. But it's abridged. I did not include everything. I included the most important elements. And I got that guy. Yeah, that one's this one right here. And then let's see, criminal procedure, rules of criminal procedure. Ended up being long, ended up being 45 pages. And that's one that did not use columns, or not very much anyways. Yeah, and then here we go, rules of evidence. It says that it's 51 pages, but I guarantee you it's not. I guarantee you it's more like 40. No, it's less than that. It has to do with the way that it printed in the numbers. Like it skipped a bunch of pages. Yeah, it goes from page 8 to page 37. And that was just, it's abridged. It's abridged, but it's, I I think the only abridgment is actually that I took out the comments, like all the judge comments. It's pretty significant actually for the rules of evidence. There's like a lot of commentary. But anyway, that's that one. And that's this one. Critical Incident Protocol. See, I haven't even started on this one yet. Yeah, I won't be able to just copy and paste it like that. That won't work. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I'll have to do it like this, look. Here's how we start a new one, okay? Control N. Control. We want to do paste special, no formatting. That's it. Control Shift S. F12 on some systems for save as. Let's go to latent. Critical Incident Review Policies 1. Cool. So now this one I can start from scratch some other time. But that's how I've got all these documents organized in my brain. I got that one in my brain. I got that one. I don't. That's new. I haven't reviewed that one at all. This one definitely. This one I've just been working on. I haven't printed all of it out and read it yet, but I'm getting there. Table of contents. This one's not finished yet either. I printed up a whole bunch of these ones to take with me tomorrow to the police department. All right, that's it. That's my live stream, you guys. That's it. Good luck. Good luck to me tomorrow. I hope I am able to remain calm. And if someone begins to antagonize me, I think that my best weapon is silence, or my best tool. I think it's not really a weapon; it's a tool. A weapon is a type of tool, but not all tools are weapons. They can be. They all can be, I guess, but they can be used in that manner. But generally, they are. I don't need to weaponize my silence. I don't need to use it as a weapon. I'm not trying to attack these police officers. I'm trying to invoke respect and professionalism and kindness. I have not succeeded thus far, but with each interaction, I develop a little bit more understanding, and I had not been able to film my interactions and then review those recordings up until recently when I developed that ability. And that helps because I can review afterwards and say, oh, look, I got a little heated in that moment. Or, oh, look, in that moment, I could have just kept my mouth quiet. Silence is golden. I never used to understand that. This has been a review of paragraph formatting and how to memorize large quantities of information. Let's go back now and just look at that one phrase. Remember there was a phrase? Ex minimis or something? We're going to go back and find it now and read it. Because now that I've finally done all the hard work, well, I don't know about hard work, but all the kind of diligent effort of just kind of going consistently through, now it should be much easier to find. It was in terminology. I don't know if it was in this terminology right here. Is this it? Let's see. Nope, that's not it. I think it was one that got that we made bold, right? It was up higher. Oh, come on. Here we go. De minimis. Economic interest means ownership of more than a de minimis legal or equitable interest. De minimis, in the context of interests pertaining to disqualification of a judge, means an insignificant interest that could not raise a reasonable question regarding the judge's impartiality. An insignificant interest. De minimis interest. Ownership of more than a de minimis legal or equitable interest. You know, you get the sense that when it comes to holding the judges accountable, they've really buried this information as deep as possible. I don't know if that's actually the way it went down, but it feels that way. Oh, look at this nice final touch. Look, okay, watch this. Watch this, what we can do. See these ones? Okay, so now look, and we were at what, 28 pages? Watch me reduce the pages down to like 24 or something. Watch. First we start with default paragraph style. No, not 24. I'm going to bring it down to like 27. Oh, look, 26. I already brought it down to 26. Do you see that? And I didn't even update the other ones yet, like this one. Now, I'll have to check and see if I like it this way. It might just be too severe. Because look, it's really pulling it all together. Look at these. These ones are still spread out, but all these ones are all tight now. Just tighten it up. See, now it's all tight. Consistency. Okay, so now it's 26 pages, and let's see how the last page looks. So. I mean, we could just put chapter 5, move it down to the other page. But regardless, we just removed 2 pages by adjusting the kind of the distance between the paragraphs. And then basically it's the more space between the paragraphs, the easier it is to read. The less space between the paragraphs, the harder it is to read. Those are other points which I will evaluate. But you can see how making that last change there tightened it up and reduced the page count. I don't know if you can tell, reducing page count is kind of a thing for me. Okay, good night, everybody. It's 2:35 a.m. here. I plan to be just awake all night tonight, and then my court appearance is at. It goes. You go in there and you sign in, and then you hang around for a while. So it could be anywhere in between a certain period, but basically tomorrow afternoon around 1 or 2 o'clock, and I'm just planning to stay awake. But if I get tired, I'll take a nap. Okay, good night, everybody. See ya. This has been my live stream. Goodbye.